Hey friends! Today I'm going to be setting up my new bullet journal. I know it's barely even the end of March, but I am already running out of space in my current bullet journal, so let's get started. I'm going to start off on the key and index pages, and since I don't actually use a key or an index, I'm going to glue down some kraft paper to cover it up so that I can turn this right side of the page into a nice kind of a cover page for my journal. I have some scrap paper and a little piece of a book page that I've cut out, and I'm just going to collage those together. And then I'm going to grab some kraft paper and I'm going to write Hello 2020 with these nice typewriter stamps that I got from Michael's. I was thinking about whether or not I was going to cut it out, but I decided that ripping it would give me the look that I was going for. And I'm using a purple glue stick, but it dries clear, so don't worry when you see that purple showing up. And then I just grabbed a stamp and some washi tape to add to the look, and that is my cover page all complete. On the left side, I marked out how much of kraft paper I would need to cut out, and then I decided to crumple it up, and because this side, a lot more of the page is open, I just made a smaller piece of crumpled kraft paper to glue into the center. And I haven't really decided what I'm going to put there yet. I think I'm going to put some sort of a quote, but I don't have any ideas yet. So I think I'm going to come back to it because there's a few other pages that I end up leaving blank that I'm going to come back and decorate later. Now on the next two index pages, I printed out some dot grid paper because I wanted to actually use these pages for bullet journaling. So I'm covering this left side with kraft paper, and this is going to be my year at a glance. So I'm cutting off the excess, and then I'm cutting my piece of paper down to size. I found a dot grid printable on the internet, and I just printed that out on a piece of binder paper. And you'll see pretty quickly that I messed up this January at a glance pretty horrendously. I did go back and fix it with a white gel pen, and then I wrote over it again, but I did not film that. But yeah, that was a good moment for me. I'm just writing all the names of the months in cursive. When I write in cursive, I try to make my words kind of long and small, or short, so that's what I think when I am writing these. I'm still not super happy with my cursive, but you know, it's better than it was. And now I'm going to grab my stamps out again, and I'm going to be writing 2020, this time out in words. I thought that would look kind of cute. And I do go in with just that E stamp to fix that E where it didn't work out. That's what I love about clear stamps, is you can kind of get a do-over if it didn't really go right the first time. And then I'm just going to draw a little border around the edge. I'm going to leave the bottom left corner blank because I wanted to add a little stamp there. Now you might be thinking, wouldn't it be smarter to do the stamp first and then the border? And you would be absolutely correct. That would be smarter. That would indeed be smarter. So I'm going to glue it in, and then I'm going to grab my stamp. I found this really pretty fern stamp. I think I found it at Hobby Lobby. Hobby Lobby really has some awesome wooden stamps. And then I'm just going to extend that border in a little bit more. And then on the right side of the paper, I'm just going to glue in my printed out piece of paper first. And this is going to be my goals page. So I glue in that sheet, cut off the excess. I'm going to add some kraft paper on the top and bottom. You can see that huge purple spot over there. It dries clear, so we're all good. And I'm going to draw in a little border with my micron. I use the PN size, and then I'm using a white gel pen to finish that border on the kraft paper. Now I'm just stamping in numbers 1 through 4, and I'll go in and write out my goals later. Now this is my future log. I'm switching it up from my last bullet journal and I'm doing a horizontal future log. So I just divided the page into 3 sections and now I'm stamping each month in the bottom right or left corner. And you know what? I messed up again and I spelled September wrong. I forgot the B and I was being so careful. And then I just wrote out the months in the opposite corner so that I could reference them when writing down my future dates. Now I am working on my grid reference page, and if you don't use a grid reference page, I highly recommend you start. Basically, you just write how many dots up and across your bullet journal is, and you mark off where half, thirds, quarters are so that you can always flip back and reference it when making new spreads. And that other side of that grid reference page is another page that I ended up leaving blank because I just couldn't think of what I wanted to do. Now these 2 spreads I got from a bullet journal YouTuber that I follow, Plant-Based Bride. She does a date night spread, which is kind of like a rolling monthly, sort of. And she also did a 20 in 2020 spread this year, and I really loved that idea, so I had it in my last bullet journal and I'm keeping it in this one. It didn't get a lot of use in the first 3 months of the year, but we'll see if I can, you know, give it a little more use. Now this stamp is so pretty and I love to use it, but I do not have a clear stamping block that is big enough for it, so I'm using my little pill carrier case because it is exactly the right size and kind of clear. So, you know, you use what works, right? And I'm just adding a little bit of washi tape on these pages to add a little bit more flavor. Now the last spread that I'm making is a wants, needs, and waiting on page. On the top I have my wants, on the bottom I have my needs, and over on the right I have a waiting on page, and I can just write out what orders I've placed, whether they've shipped, whether they've been delivered, what time they're supposed to be delivered, and so on, so that I can, you know, try to be a little bit more patient, or so I don't forget about something coming in the mail, because I am likely to do that. So there we have it, all of the spreads that I am making so I can move into this new bullet journal. I am so excited to do that. It came out so beautiful and I just can't wait for April to be here, and you know, maybe the world will look a little bit differently by that time. We can only keep our fingers crossed. I hope you guys all have a wonderful day and I will see you in the next one. Bye friends!